everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have to excuse the lighting in here. It is rainy and dreary outside, but this is the time I have to do videos. So here we go. Today's video is going to be talking a little bit about what we've learned on our first long camping trip. If you've been here before, you know that we just came back from a Disney World trip. We took our camper and drove 13 hours to Disney World and then back. And today I just have a couple tips we learned. Some of them is just general driving to that area. Some of them are just general Disney tips, and some of them are specific to Fort Wilderness. So the first one we're going to talk about is the drive. So first of all, there's tolls on the Florida Turnpike, which is one of the roads that takes you into Disney World. We knew it, but kind of forgot. And they charge you by the axle. So we were towing a camper with 2 axles. So we ended up paying for 4 axles instead of just 2 like you would on a normal car. Which kind of stunk, but it is what it is. So just be prepared and have cash ready. We did realize that we really liked traveling with a camper, although a motorhome would be even better. This trip was kind of a pre-trip to a long trip we're doing next summer to see if we wanted to try to do something with upgrading our truck to a little bit bigger, or getting an SUV to pull the camper and doing our trip, or if we wanted to trade for a motorhome. We're still in the planning process of that there, but I think the motorhome is definitely at the top of our list. With small kids, the motorhome would be perfect because bathroom breaks, you don't have to necessarily stop. Or if you do, like we got stuck in traffic one day and we sat for 45 minutes, finally got up to an exit we could get off, and there wasn't hardly anything at this exit, but there was a parking lot. Because we had the camper, we could stop, eat our lunch because it was all right there. We could use the bathroom and just take a break, and it didn't matter that there was no restaurants. So that was a really, there's a really good part of pulling a camper somewhere. Okay, so now just talking about Disney in general. So we went in April, the last week of April, and the weather was amazing. The crowds were perfect. I mean, the longest wait we had was to meet Anna and Elsa, and I think we waited about 20 minutes. The other stuff we had fast passes for, or we hit it first thing as the parks opened, and we didn't really have a wait for hardly anything. Let's see here. Flame Tree Barbecue at Animal Kingdom is amazing food. We ordered 2 of the chicken platters, and it's like half a chicken, and then you get some sides, and then we ordered an extra side of I think French fries, and between the 5 of us we split it, and it was plenty of food. It was so good. So if you're at Animal Kingdom, make sure you get Flame Tree Barbecue for your lunch. Another good tip for the parks is tie a bright colored ribbon around your stroller handlebars. We did this time, and even though our stroller, I mean, it's orange, so it's kind of bright anyways, but there's so many that you just sometimes you can't find it. Plus the CMs at Disney move strollers all the time to try to make room for more. So we was always coming out losing our stroller last time we went. So this time we tied a bright pink ribbon around our stroller thing, and they were it wasn't a super stiff ribbon, but it was enough that we could flip it up a little bit so that the ribbons were sticking up, and we were able to find it almost immediately every time. We went to Trattoria al Forno. I'm probably butchering that word, but whatever. Breakfast, it was the Bon Voyage breakfast with Flynn Rider and Rapunzel and Ariel and Prince Eric. So Trattoria al Forno. So the breakfast was amazing, and the character interactions was great as well. It is expensive. I think it was $120 for the 5 of us, and my son was free, so that was only 4. But it really, the interactions were great, and the food was great. The atmosphere, it was one of our favorites. We only do 1 character dining whenever we go, though, so we splurged a little bit for that one. The People Mover at Magic Kingdom kind of shocked me. We didn't do it last time. We just ran out of time. And everything I read said it's just a quiet, smooth ride, you know. I was like, okay, cool, so we'll try this. It slings you around the corners when it goes around corners. Was not prepared for that. And I also didn't realize that it goes through Space Mountain. And they stopped the ride. I don't know if it was to let a disabled person on the ride or if they just stopped it for a second for something else. But they stopped the ride for about 2 minutes, and we were inside Space Mountain, and it was completely dark. So, just FYI, I mean, it wasn't like it was a rough ride at all, but it just really shocked me compared to all the reviews I've seen on it, and all the info. So, just FYI. Okay, now some information about Fort Wilderness. We stayed in the 1400 loop, and it was about perfect. We didn't rent a golf cart, although that's another note of mine. It would be nice, although it's not necessary. If we go again, we probably would rent one just for the convenience sake, but we did not this time, and we were in the 1400 loop, which is about halfway from the front and the boat dock that goes to Magic Kingdom and all that stuff. And really, it wasn't bad. We walked down to catch the boat to Magic Kingdom, and we walked down every evening for the fireworks and stuff. And it really wasn't a bad walk at all. There is a path off the back of 1400 Loop that you can walk to the pool area, and it was like a 4-minute walk, so not bad at all. So if you want to stay centrally located and within walking distance to the front, the pool, and the boat dock and the beach area, 1400, 600, or 500 Loop is about perfect. The fireworks and electrical parade were really fun. There's a lot of people went down to the beach for the fireworks, but we were kind of shocked how many people left before the electrical parade. I know the fireworks depends on what time Magic Kingdom closes, but every night we were there, it was at 9. And then the electrical parade, jeez, is at 9:45 every night. And like almost every time, there was probably 50 people on the beach for fireworks. And by the time it was time for electrical parade, it was like us and maybe one other family every night. So stick around for the electrical parade. You can get your own spot on there on the beach, prime access, and it's a cute little parade. Bike locks. Make sure that you have a bike lock if you're going to ride your bike to the pool or the beach area and leave it for any amount of time. We didn't have this issue. We used our bike locks, but there was a there's been a lot recently talked about. Recently there's been quite a few bike thefts from bikes parked in common areas. So just make sure you take a bike lock and use it while you're there. We didn't use the buses to any of the parks, but we did use the boat from Fort Wilderness to Magic Kingdom. It was under 20-minute ride, and we used it 4 different times, and we never waited more than 10 minutes to get on a boat to go back or forth. So it was quick, convenient, and my kids enjoyed the boat ride. So that is definitely a perk of Fort Wilderness. I can't really comment on the buses because we didn't use them, but it seemed that they ran pretty frequently. Make sure you take bug spray or a citronella candle or something like that, because the bugs were awful. We used both, and we're really glad we had them. Even still, I got quite a few bites. Glow sticks are a mother's best friend. We put them on our kids every night when we went down to the beach for the fireworks and electrical parade, or if we were just bike riding or whatever. And it was so much easier to find my kids. And when we were riding bikes, it was also easier for people to see them. So highly recommend it. I just picked some up at the Dollar Tree, so super inexpensive, and you can keep track of your kids better. Okay, and my last little tidbit. These are in no specific order, by the way, just kind of how I remembered them. My last tidbit is the washer and dryers at Fort Wilderness. There's some in the bathhouses. Well, Disney calls them comfort stations, but there's some in that area in each loop, and they're really nice. There's even like this QR code on the wall that you can scan, and it will tell you how many minutes are left on each machine, like if you walk back to your site to wait for your washer. So that was really neat. But it's kind of expensive. It was $3 a load. So like we did $3 for a washer, $3 for dryer. We washed 2 loads in the wash, and then we ended up only drying one because the one load was just towels and it was so warm that we just hung them over our camper canopy thing, and they dried within like an hour. So we didn't need to spend that extra $3. But there is a washer and dryer there. There's 6 of each in our loop. If you need them. But if at all possible, like when we left Disney, we went to another campground on the beach for 2 nights afterward to kind of recoup. And they had a washer and dryer there as well, and it was only $1.50 a load. So if you're going somewhere right after Disney, or if you can pack enough clothes to not have to wash more than a load or any, you'd be money ahead. But if you do have to use it, like I said, it's there and it's convenient, and it was all very clean. It's just a little bit expensive. So just something to keep in mind. So that is all of our tips, tricks, hints, whatever you want to call it, from our trip. We had a fabulous time, and we're looking forward to sharing some more details about our big, long 3-week trip coming up next year sometime. So if you like planning vacations and hearing about vacations and all of that stuff, stay tuned because there's going to be lots more coming up on this channel.